Hello, 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 Leo. Hello, Leo. This is Adrienne Obi, Capricorntigress of astrologylookinside.com. And I'm coming to you with my astrological take, some information for you for the month of April 2019. So when I look at the chart that I made here, the thing that sticks out to me the most is the ninth house of like your philosophy, education. There could be some issues that have to do with legal issues, law, perhaps, or religion. It could have to deal with travel. It could be feeling like you don't have enough education or you don't have enough credentials or certifications. That might crop up because Chiron, the wounded healer, is in the ninth house for you Leos. So you might be really like aware of what you don't possess as a person. It really does, the ninth house, rule like our deepest philosophies about life. And so some of you Leos may be looking at your deepest philosophies about life, how you think about life, the things that you will tolerate, won't tolerate, the things you find intolerable. It could even be things like how you feel about social issues, like causes, like give you a good example is like when the kids went and they marched about gun violence. Well, that was a ninth house thing. That was about them being so riled up by the cause that they believed in. They went out and marched across America. Well, that's what happens when there's a ninth house emphasis. There's lots of causes, things that you believe in, the philosophy that you ascribe to. And these are the things that might change based on the things that are happening around you. Like I always think about the meaning of life when I look at the ninth house. It's like where you stop and you think, what is the meaning of life? What's the purpose of all of this anyway? Why do we do this? Why is this law here? Why do these people think this way? You might even have this unconscious need to travel and find it out yourself because, it is the ninth house of travel and you might actually want to physically travel. Mercury is in the ninth house after the 17th, and Venus is in the ninth house after the 20th. And that could indicate some travel for some Leos because the sun is going to be there. And actually, on the 5th of tomorrow, there's going to be a new moon in Aries in the ninth house for Leo. Now it's happening at 15 degrees. So it's really going to affect the majority of people in Leo. And actually anyone who has an aspect, negative or positive to that Aries new moon at 15 degrees. And I believe for you Leos that it's going to be positive because it's a natural trine. It's smack dab in the middle of Aries. And I just think that this is a time when you really are thinking a lot about your belief system in everything, like the things you believe in, the things that you will tolerate, the things you won't tolerate. And these are the issues that are going to really be swirling around in your mind a lot during April, but particularly after the 17th, when Mercury goes into Aries. Prior to that, Mercury is technically in your 8th house, as is Venus and Neptune. And it just could indicate that, you might have felt like you had like this amazing love when Venus conjunct Neptune, but it might be starting to fizzle out a little bit, because sometimes the love that Venus conjunct Neptune brings is so illusionary that it's impossible to make it real in reality. Or it could be like you were in or having long distance conversations with someone from afar, or someone that you met online, or something of that nature. But the thing about Neptune and Venus conjunct is that it creates this illusion that is so hard to live up to. So, you might have saw this person online and thought, oh, wow, that is the most gorgeous person. I want that person. And, you might have even met, you might even had sex with them. I mean, it is the eighth house, but it's like the illusion is gone, because whatever that illusion was that pulled them in or pulled you together might be starting to wane away, if it was all based on an illusion of Neptune being conjunct or Venus being conjunct Neptune. It was a temporary transit. So that could be happening to some of you Leos. And I'm sorry that your grand love affair didn't turn out the way you wanted. But, with Venus in the ninth house, and Chiron's going to be there, it's probably going to conjunct at one point or another. This could be a good time to heal the way you do look at love. It might be a time to heal the wounds that you have around love and establishing solid love relationships. That could be one of the belief systems and philosophy systems that you're looking at seriously. I'll give you a really good example that just came to mind. So let's say, for instance, you're a male Leo. I don't know why I'm thinking it's a male Leo. And you really like this person, and you really have liked them for a while, and you've expressed all the ways that you like this person, but you've yet to go over the edge and either move in, make a commitment, get married, any of those things. Well, when Venus hits that Chiron, this is all going to come out probably. You might have to discuss it. You might decide, I'm able to heal. I'm able to heal that wound that keeps me from giving to my relationships and to my love, and heal that with Venus there once and for all. And that would be a beautiful way to use Venus conjunct Chiron. Also, the North Node in Cancer is in the 12th house. And so I think that's also telling you or teaching you how to be more nurturing even to your inner self, to you, because it's hidden. It's the 12th house. So it could just be that it's the way you are taking care of yourself and mothering yourself and nurturing yourself on a deeply psychological and subconscious level. So it might be, learning to tell yourself that you're worthy, or that you're beautiful, or that you're extraordinary in some way, because some of us have a hard time believing that, especially Leos, who sometimes have issues around shining, because if you've been taught not to shine, because it's the natural thing for Leos is to shine. And often I find they're beat down, a lot of Leos, and told not to shine over and over again, because they're so vibrant and in the sun. And so you might need to heal that and use this time with the North Node in your 12th house, your inner subconscious mind, maybe to set your best intentions for what it is you want in life, so you can learn how to concentrate on how to nurture yourself from a deeply internal level, on how to heal yourself for your life. And this might come in the form of like mantras, affirmations, listening to like binaural beats, doing EFT, going to tarot readers, talking to astrologers, all of these things, especially with Neptune transiting the 8th house like that. You really want to get to the bottom of things. You really want to know the meaning of life. That's what it is. I mean, my gosh, with Neptune in the 8th, the North Node in the 12th, Chiron in the ninth house, you really want to get these secrets, these answers to life. You really want to know what is the meaning of it all? Like, what is going on? And I think once you start asking these questions of yourself and going deep into your subconscious mind, maybe dreaming about it, keeping a journal, nurturing yourself in every possible way, you might actually find that joy and that meaning, because you would have learned how to love yourself. Like, you won't need it to come from outside of you anymore, because you'll know how to give that love to yourself. You'll know that meaning of life and love. And I'm hoping that this is how it manifests for you. Like, it comes out so that you can fix and heal all those wounds that might be there. Another thing that's making me feel like that might be the message for the month is fixing the wounds of, like, say, love, is because Jupiter, which has been in the fifth house for some time, is going to be retrograding in the sign of Sagittarius, your fifth house. And when it retrogrades, it's going to be retrograde until August 11th. This is a lesson that needs to be learned. Perhaps it's about learning how to love completely, learning how to give love, learning how to enjoy love, learning how to express love and abundance and joy and happiness and glee and parties and romance and dating and all of that stuff. This is all part of what you might have been experiencing or might have been hoping for. But, now with it retrograding, there might be a big stop to that. You might have to reassess how you've been dealing with the area of romance and the area of love. And you might have to fix that, because, sometimes Jupiter is, well, it can trample over things, not on purpose, but Sag and Jupiter tend to do that. They're big and they're fast. And so now they're going to slow down a little bit because they're retrograde. And perhaps this will be a time for you to take a good look at your romance and your romantic life and your romantic partners and the love that you're in, or the relationships that you're in, or especially the love affairs that you're in, and all those extracurricular love affairs that you might have been having, Leo, that might come to a screeching halt. You might find, you have 4 or 5 and now you got one, barely. That could happen. It's retrograde. That good luck, you might be drying up a little bit, and it's going to be there in the fifth house until the 11th of August. So please be aware of that. Also, I'm sensing that your work life and your career are also going to be affected in April. And this is because Uranus, the planet of, well, change and really a lot of unexpected activity, things you couldn't possibly plan for, out of the blue things that come and just like, whoa, what the heck? This could be happening in your work life, or career life. So be aware of that. Your reputation and your image and the way people think of you and your social standing, all of that might be changing. And so please be aware that this is what's occurring in your life at this time. That changes, really. The way people are seeing you is that you're in the midst of great change. Like, you are changing. And you're going to be changing a lot over the next 6 years. So just go with the flow. It's going to happen. You're going to have that change. There's no way you're going to get around it. Go with the flow of it. It's the easiest way to deal with it, Leo. And, there's going to be even more change, because Saturn and Pluto are also going to be going retrograde in April. So not only is Jupiter going retrograde in the fifth house, but Saturn and Pluto are going to be going retrograde in the sixth house. That's your work. That's your health. That's the way you take care of your physical self. And how, again, it's back to nurturing yourself, right? How you take care of you. how you take care of you. So that is, again, more emphasis on that, Leo. You might find that you might, if you felt like your health has been, I'm not sure if you've had any issues with health at all, but Saturn's been there in the area of health, and Pluto's been there in the area of health. So there could have been some health issues, but it's going to retrograde at the end of the month. And that means that you might get a brief reprieve between now and August 11th, where you might have a chance to regroup, revive, regenerate, renew, rejuvenate, even in the area of health. I think the one thing that's going to help you with your physical health is your emotional and psychological and spiritual health, which is where the North Node is in that 12th house in Cancer. And so if you work on that and keep yourself spiritually in tune and keep yourself emotionally, balanced and mentally stable, even if that means taking mood stabilizers, no harm, no foul, then I think you're going to be able to transition through this period of time where the North Node is sitting in your 12th house, and Pluto and Saturn are retrograding in the 6th house. It's not easy. You might feel like you're backtracking even in your work life, or that you've lost some respect in the area of your work life, and that you have to somehow get that back. What I'm going to tell you is to coast. I'm not saying to be lazy. I'm saying to just go with the flow. With Uranus sitting up in the 10th house and Saturn and Pluto retrograding in the 6th house, this is not the time to push. This is not the time to, launch that new business or something like that, because Jupiter is also retrograding in the 5th house of entrepreneurship. So I would say relax, regroup, rejuvenate, renew, revive, review, look everything over in your work life. You might even decide you want to go into a whole new company, a whole new field. There's so many changes that could be afoot in the area of career for you. So just go with that ebb and flow and make the changes as they come up, and don't fight that. Don't fight that change that is coming, because it's coming. Now, with the full moon is on the 19th. It's going to be in Libra. That's your third house of communication. That could indicate like extended family. So it could be dealing with a lot of family around the 19th, nephews, nieces, aunts, uncles, cousins, nieces and all that kind of stuff. So that's something happening. Also, it could indicate travel, like local travel. I just be aware that there's going to be a full moon in Libra, and that's positive for Leo because it's sextile Leo. That's going to be positive for you. I think both the new moon and the full moon, on the new moon on the 5th and the full moon on the 19th, are both going to be positive for Leo in some way, and that your communication and your ability to see the big picture and think about like life and these universal laws and things like that. All of this, you're going to be looking at that, changing your philosophy, or really reviewing and healing your philosophy and the way you look at life in general. And so that's really the message that's coming through to me. Oh, yeah. Now, there is Mars in the 11th house, by the way, because Mars is in Gemini. And so I would definitely reach out to like groups, associations, make new friends. If anything, if I would promote online, I'm sure you would do well promoting online. Gemini is sales and Mars is there. This is a good sales month for those who are in sales. Okay. Well, that was the message I was inspired to give to you, Leo. I think overall, I think you're going to have a good month. Your love might get a little weird. You've gotten so accustomed to getting what you want in the area of romance and love and landing anyone you want. And all of a sudden, the object of your affection might decide they want to go another direction or something like that. And that might take you for a loop. Just be aware of it and, meditate if necessary. Do whatever you need to do to keep yourself focused and positive, and you're going to make it through this. You'll be fine. It's all good for you, Leo. Okay, well, this was my message. If you please like and share and subscribe our videos and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you haven't, please subscribe to our blog and website at astrologylookinside.com. You can also find me on Facebook at facebook.com/astrologylookinside. And I do give mini free readings at our group on Facebook at facebook.com/groups/astrologylookinside. And everyone is invited. Okay. Much love and much light to you all. Happy Easter to you and to yours. And I will see you in May. Bye, Leo.